Most people would describe Elon Musk and Richard Branson and Steven Bartlett as entrepreneurs. But what about the guy down the road that owns the corner shop? Or perhaps the lady next door that runs an Etsy shop? Are these entrepreneurs or are they business owners? And is there a difference, and does it matter? So before we begin, can I really quickly ask you to hit the subscribe button because it helps YouTube to work in the background. So the question that I want to answer today is there a difference between an entrepreneur and a business owner? Are they the same thing? And if there is a difference, what is it? And why does it matter? Well, firstly, understanding where you are right now is critical to finding the right help and advice to grow and move forward. So if you think that you're an entrepreneur but you're actually a business owner, or vice versa, you're going to go after the wrong advice, and therefore your personal growth and ultimately your financial growth is not going to be as fast and smooth sailing as it could be if you really went and found exactly the right advice that you were looking for based on your exact situation. So there are over 1.4 billion hits for the word entrepreneur on Google. And if we have a look at the official definition, according to the Oxford Dictionary, an entrepreneur is a person who sets up a business or businesses taking on financial risks in the hope of profit. And if we do exactly the same search on Google for the phrase business owner, we can see that there are 4.75 billion hits. So still an awful lot of information out there. And because business owner is a phrase and not a single word, we don't have an official Oxford Dictionary definition, but we do have a definition here that we can take a look at. And this describes a business owner as one person who is in control of the operational and monetary aspects of a business. So that's the Shopify definition. And we've also got an accounting website here that gives a definition of a business owner is the legal proprietor of a business. So clearly we can see that we are not going to find the answer to our question on Google looking at dictionary definitions. So let's take a step back and have a look at an individual's journey into business and how they've got to where they are today. Now, most people end up going into business and starting a business because they have a skill or a knowledge or a passion that they want to share with people. And that is pretty much how every small business starts out. So take a chef, for example, their passion is cooking. They absolutely love to cook, so they go and open their own restaurant, cooking every single night. And if they're really good at what they do, their business will become busier and busier, and their restaurant will start to get full most evenings. And it's not just chefs, this can pretty much apply to any industry out there. So take a driving instructor or a hairdresser or an accountant. They all start out in business because they have a skill or a knowledge or a hobby that they want to share with people. And at the start of their business, when they start, they are the person that is doing almost everything in the business. And they're working in the business like it's a job. Sure, they have all the additional hassle of running your own business, like insurance and accounts, etc., to worry about. But ultimately, if you're a chef and you're working in your own restaurant, you're doing the cooking. If you're a hairdresser, you're working in your own salon, and you have a job just like you would have a job anywhere else cutting hair. So essentially, you're swapping your time for money. And in my opinion, this is the definition of a business owner. And pretty much everybody starts out as a business owner, but there are some people who dream bigger. And this is the critical difference between a business owner and an entrepreneur. If you have a business owner chef, they will be thinking about how they can create the next main course and how they can design their next menu. If you have an entrepreneur chef in charge of a business, they will be thinking how they can employ the most skilled chef to work in their business so they can go and open their next restaurant. An entrepreneur is constantly thinking about getting bigger, getting better, starting new businesses and having new challenges. A business owner is focused on running their business on a day-to-day basis. Now, that isn't to say that entrepreneurs are more profitable or cleverer or any better at running a business than a business owner is. And often business owners can make loads and loads of money. But what you do need to identify is whether you are a business owner or you are an entrepreneur, because they are completely different skill sets. If you are a chef, for example, and you love cooking and you want to cook, you should be a business owner. If you want to run a successful chain of restaurants, then you could be an entrepreneur if you've got the right skill set to be successful at it. Now, if we had a look at some of the most successful entrepreneurs that we know, Elon Musk, for example, probably doesn't know anything about social media. And Richard Branson probably doesn't know anything about rockets. And Steve Jobs didn't design computers. And they don't have the same academic background either, so it's not like they went to a school and did a degree on how to be a good entrepreneur. But what they do have in common is 4 key skills. This is strategic thinking, communication, leadership, and financial management. And it's these 4 skills that pretty much every entrepreneur in the world has in common, and this is what makes them really successful at what they do. If you put a job advert out there for an entrepreneur, this would be the qualifying criteria that you would need before you interviewed a person. So going back to my analogy as a chef, you could be the best chef ever and you could charge £1,000 for somebody to come to your restaurant for dinner for the evening. That doesn't mean that you're not going to have a successful business and be really profitable. So therefore there's no harm in this being your goal of being a business owner and having a job that you absolutely love and you get enjoyment out of doing. But for a small proportion of business owners, this isn't enough, and there's this burning desire deep inside to keep growing and to keep finding the next challenge. But this alone won't make you a successful entrepreneur. And if you're sitting there thinking that you really resonate with this feeling and you have that burning desire deep inside you, then you could go on to be a really successful entrepreneur. But only if you educate yourself and you become really effective at those 4 skills that successful entrepreneurs all have in common. And that's strategic thinking, leadership, communication, and financial management. So if you are serious about growing your business and having a big empire around you, growing a chain of restaurants or a chain of hair salons, whatever it is that you do, you've got to stop working in your business and start working on your business instead. You've got to free yourself up so that you've got more time to think about the strategic planning and direction of your business. So you need to start thinking about how you can build a successful team around you that can take all of that day-to-day doing away from you and free up your time. So as well as having a thirst to grow your business, as an entrepreneur, you should always also have a thirst for learning and self-development. So you've got to work on those 4 skills that I've mentioned: strategic thinking, leadership, communication, and financial management. And really the best way to do this is informal learning. So YouTube videos are fantastic, podcasts, but also mentorship and coaching. And you've got to make sure that you're giving yourself time to implement these in your business as well. So there's no point watching a YouTube video if you don't take any action out of it. So if you're going to take just one thing away from this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel where I can help you grow your financial management skills. I'm a chartered accountant, a finance director, but more importantly, I'm an entrepreneur too. So make sure you subscribe to my channel.